I want to cover, I guess, is just basic use of the tool, and also, I guess, some of the more advanced features that the engineering people will appreciate. Um, I guess my background is an environmental engineer. I worked with Melissa to develop this tool, and also we did a lot of work to inform the new planning code and write various guidance documents. I also, I guess, do a lot of work in New South Wales and Victoria. In Victoria, I'm currently sitting in a council doing the water sensitive urban design role in Knox Council in Melbourne. So now a quick flag. So the Insight tool is located here at watersensitivesa.insightwater.com. Do be careful. There is an Australia-wide tool as well that does not apply to South Australia. So make sure, firstly, that you're the right website as a very first thing. And if anyone is from interstate, you'll want to use this URL, not this one. So why there's two is that the Water Sensitive SA Insight Water has been designed specifically for South Australia. It's tailored specifically for the new planning scheme, and it's based on our stakeholder engagement as to what people wanted in South Australia. So it will say this is the South Australian version, and you can go to the other states if you need to. I guess, why are we doing this? Why not just do the status quo? And why not just do the building code thing where you take all downpipes, connect it up to the street, and that's it for stormwater? Why do the more sophisticated integrated water management? So what the big problem is at the big scale is right across Australia, and this is most cities, and Adelaide's no exception, is you get a lot of redevelopment. So people taking a nice big pervious garden and redeveloping it to townhouses or apartments or commercial space where you've got pretty much fence to fence impervious areas. So what happens is when you make an entire site impervious, all going to drains to the street, it creates a whole load more volume into the existing stormwater system. And those existing stormwater systems are not designed for that level of imperviousness. They're designed for quarter-acre blocks or lower density development. And those old pipes simply can't take the volume of stormwater from rampant redevelopment. So the same applies to commercial. When you take a nice pervious block and pave it from fence to fence, you get not only more volume going into the existing council drains on the street, but also higher peak flows and more pollutants. Basically, it upsets the whole hydrology of the system. So why can't you just dig up the streets and add bigger pipes? Well, there's problems, there's complications. A lot of you would have experienced a project like this where you go to trench down a street. This is obviously CBD, but I think it makes the point if you try and trench straight down a road or through a footpath or through an easement, there's other stuff there. There's optic fiber and gas networks, water, telecoms, all sorts of old stuff. You might encounter contaminated land, which is a problem as well, and it can really just mess with the entire budget. Plus, stormwater pipes don't play well with other pipes. They have to go in a straight line at a constant full. You can't kind of thread them through other underground assets. So it's actually extremely expensive and disruptive and messy to just simply assume that a council can upgrade its tens of thousands of kilometres of existing pipes. Add to that we have the problem of aging assets and the pipes kind of slowly filling up with sediment and cracking and getting tree roots and that sort of thing. What you want to be doing with your redevelopment is taking the pressure off existing assets by dealing with more stormwater actually on the site. Now, this isn't my idea. This comes straight out of this new Australian Rainfall and Runoff Guide, the ARNR 2019. And if you go to the Book 9, which is the Urban Stormwater chapter, it sets out the priorities for civil engineers and doing urban stormwater. And what we're meant to be doing, according to Engineers Australia, is continuing to control peak discharge. So that's your flood mitigation and using on-site detention, that sort of thing. But they've got these multiple criteria, which is harvesting or infiltrating stormwater and also improving water quality. So that's aligned with the planning scheme, and it's aligned with Engineers Australia recommended Stormwater Guide, which is the Australian Rainfall and Runoff Guide. Now, if you haven't read this guideline, it's a good time to go and read Book 9. It is what I guess Engineers recommend, Engineers Australia recommends as the fundamental basis of stormwater engineering in the country now. And there's been big changes since their last update, which I believe was in 1991. So what we've tried to do with Insight Water is take this multiple criteria and simplify it as much as possible without, I suppose, removing the engineering basis of it. At the end of the day, the engineering has to be sound, but we've tried to make the implementation of it as simple as humanly possible, so that everyone can achieve these multiple criteria without too much analysis, without too much time. And our feedback with Insight Water is we've done that quite well. A civil engineer doing a planning application can do the integrated stormwater model in sort of 20 or 30 minutes and be done with it, and balance all these different multiple criteria to get a balanced solution for the site. So we've taken the basic criteria out of Australian Rainfall and Runoff, which is harvesting, controlling peak discharge and improving stormwater quality. And we've also added drought resilience, which can be irrelevant on days like today, where you've just had 2 inches of water, but of rainfall in Adelaide, but is certainly relevant for the longer term. We will have more droughts. I guess that's the why of Insight Water. So the how, I will take you through today and just introduce you to the tool and its basic functions and operations, and get you, I guess, started. So the basics about this: it is cloud-based software. There's nothing to download. There's nothing to install. Anyone with a reasonably modern computer and a browser can log in and use this software. It's also free because it's sponsored by Water Sensitive SA and the South Australian Department of Water and Environment. It's free to use for councils and for engineers and other people. To get started, you simply log in. If you don't have an account, you can go to the account page and sign up. It's fairly easy to register. You just put in your details and hit register, and you'll get an account. So you log in and you create a new project. You can also save and come back and edit projects as well, and it'll just bring you to this screen.